It's Chris Beyer.
Chris Bowling.
Brad Johnson.
Hey, Brad.
Back for part two, Bottom Line Thursday, Brad. We're going to continue with rate increases. Last week, we talked about jumbo employers at around 8%. You also wanted to look at what's happening in the ACA individual marketplace as well, as that impacts a lot of families that are insured through that option as opposed to their employer plans. So what are we seeing there?
Yeah, so kind of hitting both ends of the spectrum, large, and then on the micro side of things, the exchange, if we will call it that,
Right.
represents about, I think, 21 million Americans are covered under that. And those insurance carriers have to file ahead of time what their rates are going to be for January. Yeah. And it turns out the median increase they're filing for is 7%.
Not bad.
So, sounds similar to something we talked about last week.
Yeah. It sure does. That was 8%, what the jumbo employers are banking on. And so it's showing a little trend, no pun intended, but some similarities there for certain. In case you're curious, a little more in the trenches, we saw actually a few plans, a tiny amount, like they've got the bell curve, right? So the median, the middle one was that 7%, but a very small number got a decrease. Most got an increase. The highest was, it just said greater than 25%. Like exchange plans out there at that. But
and are we seeing similar cost drivers for the individual market like we are in the jumbo employer?
This study didn't go on to say that, but I'm quite certain that would be the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, and you think too, how many of the ACA Marketplace plans cover everything compared to some of these larger employers that restrict some coverage as well? You would think that, weight loss medications, again, the specialty drugs that are coming on the market that are 400,000 or 500,000 are probably covered, and that's got to be picked up in some format.
Yeah, and you figure it'd be interesting to see like the average pricing by state, because we know, for example, Illinois requires coverage of a lot more things than Iowa does, for example. And then,
well, I know prior to being on our group plan, when I was on an individual plan, when we moved counties in Illinois, our rates went up 15% because we were now in an unhealthier county by ACA guidelines.
Yeah.
And nothing changed with us, but our zip code. And I remember that too, that they're breaking it down that close as well.
You do have some good food down there in Galesburg. So there
we do. I'm not going to complain.
Do you have cheese curds? That's all I
do. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Only fried though.
Only fried. Yeah, we do. We would not take those any other way.
No.
Gotta have them cooked. No, interesting, Brad. I appreciate sharing again.
Yes. All good. Thanks for sharing again, Brad.
Yep. That'll conclude part two.
We will see you again next week then.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.